So now I'm grasping what they're doing. So the bottom line is that the reason why they keep fucking with my debit card that I get my SSI money on, okay? I just called up the SSI office. The bottom line, and this is gonna get real interesting real quick, right? So I just called up the SSI office that my money would be coming to the card from, right? They're telling me that there's no problem with my money. They sent the money to my card, right? So they're like, it's a problem with the card. Now I get it. Now I understand. Every single time that I call up and I make a fucking fraud report, right, with the card company, in a fraud report, and this was told to me by Gerald Schur, in a fraud report, that would screw with my social security number. Because if I remember correctly, another social security number gets linked at that point to which I wouldn't be being told this any other way, social security number. Therefore, what I'm guessing is once that other social security number gets attached to my social security number, then they can use that number in order to fucking access the fucking place where I signed in at the Pentagon to get their hands on my multi-level IP address. That's what they're doing. That's how it's being done. Wow. Wow. Every single time a fraud report gets made. Meanwhile, just like when I called up the SSI office just now, even though I've already made 7 or 8 phone calls to them and they were giving me this bullshit runaround, I finally got an actual number. In the middle of trying to do that, 2 phone calls ago, just a few hours ago, the minute I got a lady on the phone that was about to give me the number, a dude comes up out of nowhere and tries to fucking threaten my life while I'm on the phone. Dressed all in red. I was like, go home, dog. Go home. Go home, dog. Yo, man, I'm done with this bullshit. Because whoever the fuck, that's why I'm saying it's like, it's you know what, now it makes fucking 1000% sense. You know, every time that I trigger a fraud report, another social security number gets linked somehow, some way to my social security number, and that social security number is what signed in to that fucking Pentagon computer all those years ago in front of Gerald Schur in basically the fucking heart of the Pentagon. I don't know what else to say. So, in other words, if I call up and now go to the card people and say, where's my money? And that triggers a fraud report, that's going to fucking cause possibly another fucking... So now at this point, depending on how many freaking fraud reports have already been made... Now this is another thing. The fraud reports is depending on how many fraud reports have actually been made by me, without even knowing, whether they're knowing or unknowing. Okay, some of them I was saying, you know, like, no offense, this is serious shit. The bottom line is that every single time a fucking social security number would get then linked to my social security number, therefore affecting the government fucking highly classified IP address, therefore allowing fucking some fucking bastards to fucking go and hack the entire system. So now I'm fucking disgusted and pissed off, because if this is not something that everybody else should have fucking picked up on by now, with all these intellectual minds that I can't fathom how fucking geniusly ingenious they are, I'm disgusted and pissed off and disgusted. And personally, I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't care if you rob yourselves. I don't care what the fuck you do. Just get the fuck away from me and get off my goddamn money. I want my money. I want my fucking money. This is bullshit. Now this is fucking bullshit. So the only other thing when it comes to that, the only other part of that I'm thinking of right now was, other than the extra social security number that would then be linked to my social security number, the fraud reports would then lead to the investigation, which would then trigger the extra freaking social security number, and then with that social security number they could probably temporarily hack fucking pretty much anything or anyone that they wanted to. But yet the fucking Social Security Administration paid me my money, so that means that my money would have to be going to the card people, and then the card people would have to be fucking somehow triggering backwards the money onto my card so that it doesn't look like there's a fraud investigation going on. Whether I started those, that's what I'm trying to think of fucking what I was about to say. I don't know if it was the cars that I owned. Oh, yeah, just recently when I called up the credit bureaus and was telling them, I'm like, look, you know, blah, 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 blah. And I'm pretty sure one of them asked me about a fucking fraud report and blah, 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 and starting a fraud report to see if fucking there was any fraudulent activity. Wow, man. Wow, man. Wow, man. Wow, man. Wow, man. This is heavy deep, bro. And this is how fucked up people are, because you know what? This is like my whole entire life was destroyed over fucking the fact that fucking there are people trying to get their hands on not only my fucking social security number, now that I fucking, which is just so fucking crazy, blatantly out there, and then on top of that they're trying to get their hands on the fact that fucking social security number with my name attached to it is fucking linked to the fucking Pentagon computer, which therefore fucking then they can do whatever the fuck they feel like after that. That's basically, I mean, I don't know, I could probably go on and on and on, but I think this is the fucking gist of this video. Fucking, this is bullshit. This is fucking bullshit. They're saying that the fucking money was already paid out from the SSI office, so now it's the fucking card people that fucking actually, and then the other people that I got on the phone was saying that it was a part of the Medicare system. So how the fuck would premiums, there's no fucking premiums for any of this shit. So all those people that I had on the phone prior to the other man that I got on the phone and told me that fucking my money was sent to my card, all of those people would be reading the notes saying that, oh, this is Medicaid premiums and blah, blah, blah. Even he was like, that doesn't make, he's like, that's true, but that's not true. Like, we take the money out, but we don't take the money out of your actual fucking money itself. Wow. But every single time that I trigger a fraud report, that means that they can get their fucking hands on another fucking social security number that is then linked to my social security number in order to fucking get their hands on temporary access to either, and oh, this was the other part. Since my fucking government IP address is a multi-fucking leveled IP address, meaning that the main IP address is actually comprised of multiple IP addresses, that's another thing. Depending on how many fraud reports I've already fucking made, means fucking that there could be that many fucking people who have had an extra fucking social security number in order to get their hands on an actual temporary part, not a temporary social security number in order to get their hands on a main part of my fucking IP address that makes up the actual main part of my IP address. Government IP address from the Pentagon. Middle of the Pentagon. Fuck this shit. Oh, and by the way, whoever fucking sent the dog to come fight me before, I told that fucking dog, go back home and kill me next time, you fucking pussy.